you, as far as you are concerned. God has given you words. Your words will go out and accomplish what you have told them to do. You are born again, created to rule. You're anointed and blessed to speak things and designed to decree things and declare things. And the will of God in the earth will be declared by you. You are ordained to operate in the supernatural living of God.
You'll have a pastor go and they'll watch some science fiction. Like they'll watch a show about a person that is targeted by the CIA and other secret 3-letter organizations and so on and so forth. Walk away and be like, yeah, that's an interesting piece of like most of the rest of the population, fiction or science fiction or whatever. And then, but the congregant comes up to them and says, hey, I have some scoop marks in my leg from last night. I don't know how I got them. It's like, you should take some a better care when you wake up and use the bathroom because you must have bumped your leg. It's like, how do you get a scoop mark in your leg if you bump it? This nonsense. Like
they come up with all kinds of stuff other than what it really is.
Yeah. My nails all fall off. My nails are all black. The beds are just jet black, and it must be a fungus. No, it's not a fungus. It's, it's the radiation, and I have to hide them. Yeah, and just all this stuff that we have to go through to even to deal with this. It's like, man, why? I mean, do we have that much hate? For someone to just sit there. And I've seen the lasers, I'll see it when they do it. I don't get it. That much hate.
So the thing is, and I'm gonna speak about this one more time, and y'all can say what you want to say again, and I'm gonna leave that part dead for there because I really want to reach out to the pastors that have not taken their time to do their due diligence to find out what this is all about rather than just push people off to the side. I've witnessed God speaking to one person in the spirit and another person in the room being able to see in the spirit. So we got a person that can hear in the spirit and a person that can see in the spirit, and they're during deliverance on one person. And I'm thinking to myself, Lord, I know you can talk to these people. So when I'm in the room and they're praying for me for over this V2K, how come you're not telling them anything?
Yeah, it's
and I the answer that he gives me just blows me away. Is I've already told you from the beginning what I was going to do, and that's it. And so my concern is that more and more pastors need to wake up, and I really, my heart hurts because there are people that want to go to church, but they don't know where to go. They can't trust it. They'd rather go to the bar, Dan, than to go to a church.
I've heard that. My friend, she's like, I'm watching you guys. I have more fun in the clubs than I do in church.
Wow.
The pain, I mean, to be burnt, sitting in church and burning, or just being zapped out or being mocked or intentionally. The pastor asked me to come up. Now, he did ask me to come up that next Sunday so he can lay hands on me. So I fell 3 times. One of the guys dropped me. One of the perps that was in, he dropped me, but the Holy Spirit, of course, I didn't feel a thing, but I was made aware that he let his hands go. He didn't guide me as I fell back. He just dropped me. And so I can hear my head hit the floor, boom. But of course, the Holy Spirit, there was no pain. I just said, oh my God, I don't want this man to touch me. I really didn't want him to hold me because I already knew he was a perp. And so even in that intimate moment, he still had hate. And he did his hands like that and let me drop to the floor.
That's how easy these perpetrators have infiltrated the church to the point where they're ushers.
Exactly.
And you got a pastor that loves God, that, and how come God is not, Jesus ain't saying, hey, you got some people in your church that are doing some things to your sheep. You need to take care of this. How come he's not saying anything? It blows me away. But God, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. So I'm looking at it like, okay, you know what you're doing. I'm not going to question it anymore. I'm just going to make sure that my heart is in the right place and move forward. So,
I'm
not as good at. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say I'm not. Clarence is a little better than me in it. I'm angry. I get mad because, being followed around, I go off. I throw a bottle of water out of the car. I mean, it's just, I'm all over the place. And then I'm like, oh, Lord, forgive me, because that's what they want me to do. I mean, it's a whole war act, movie show, whatever that's all about. The lights, the poisoning of the food, the breaking in your house. It's like, God, don't you? I mean, I'm throwing up bile, because they're poisoning my food. They're spitting in God, I see all these things. I see the two men that stands by my pastor, their faces turns to monsters. I'm looking at them and their face turns to monsters. So I wonder if Pastor knows that those are their face change in church, standing by him. So this is what we're going through, Pastor DUVAL. This is a lot.
What state are you in? Like the state of the U.S.
Oh, Texas. We're in
Texas.
San Antonio.
Oh,
We're right with you. We were going to come to Katy.
We were coming to Katy, Texas. I was going to move out there, but I couldn't get anybody on the phone to talk to, and that didn't make me feel comfortable. But I wanted to come serve at your church in your audio video department, or wherever you needed me. And I didn't go because I couldn't get anybody on the phone, and I didn't want to just drive up there and say, "Hey, look, I'm here."
Both of us. I was just like, well, I'm not.
Did you have me on the spot? I have a few things to say. So number one, I apologize.
That's okay.
We don't have the staffing levels. We sit here, Bride Ministries. I mean, we are pioneering in so many different directions. For the majority of what Bride Ministries has done, it has been me, my wife, and one employee at a time, or two. Like this whole time, like just recently did we finally begin to break out and have a larger team, slightly larger, for all of the impact it looks like we're having. I mean, our local church is like 50, 60 people. I mean, it's like, we're not rolling deep. So we don't have someone sitting on the phone, because if we had a phone, we would get a lot of phone calls, all day. Day long. And so we had to not do that just to survive.
Yeah.
I started listening to you. I started listening to you before you had your property.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you were still doing it out of the hotel or wherever you were setting up at, that's when I was trying to call it.
He introduced me to you.
Yeah, I was trying to call back then and couldn't. And so now I understood. Oh, they didn't even have a location. I didn't know that.
No,
but you had a word. Your word.
Officing, in a physical location, in the past 6 months. Yeah, I mean, we were all working out of our houses, in different.
Yes.
Anyway.
But look at God. Look at God.
Look at God. The Lord.
Well, I know you're all like, God, this targeting is this a whole congregation by itself, isn't it?
But I tell you, it is. Okay. So coming back to the whole conversation on pastor, I have a better context for what pastors go through now that I actually am one, because before I was I was a leading and apostolically working in the sphere of what God had called me to do, but then it is something different when you start sitting down every week with people and they all come together, and then you have to do community and you have to govern the atmosphere of physical. There is something about that is a unique challenge set, and one of the things that some pastors end up getting stuck with it is you can't just hire in all of your help and all of your roles. So sometimes you end up working with the people that are available, and there will be bad apples.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so now I don't know about, because you're telling me about this church that you're going to, and I'm just like, why? I mean, and I'm glad I don't know. I don't want to know.
He has a good word, and I guess I'm scared to go anywhere else because then I'm gonna get, I'm already accustomed to those. I know that those two, that minister is a perp. I know, but to start over is scary. I know how to keep them from getting, put in the backpack because they always want me to sit in the middle. Nope, I'm not sitting in the middle. I'm sitting on the edge. So you can, if it's one person with a backpack here and there, and then that radiation is just tearing me up. So I haven't moved, but I haven't been to church in 2 months because I've just got tired of the thing that I got to grow through, being followed in there and having the same clothes. That's a part of the thing too. They do. We're all with the same outfit on. So women don't like that. So that's a psyche thing. Then we get in there. Then it's the pain. Then it's the lip up. Your lip, like you're nasty. But that's done secretly by the first lady. God said, turn around. I turned around. She had her lip up. And so.
I mean, look, on one level, no church is perfect. On another level, there are churches that are heavily, they are heavily infiltrated. Here's one of the things that I realized as I got into, doing this work. And okay, so what is mind control? I don't know your guys' audience, but I'm just going to kind of boil it down like this. Mind control is it's intentional programming of shattered soul parts in order to get an individual to do what you want them to do. And so they usually start a person out real early. They subject them to a rigorous course of abuse. And this can even just happen because people grow up in pedophile homes and incest-based families. But, then they do have the satanic cults where, the parents are intentionally trafficking these children to actual rituals. And then you have the government projects where, no, the government actually gave the parents a deal. They get some kind of benefit, they get business, they get money, they get whatever it is, and they sell their children into these projects. And they're going to military bases, hospitals, they're going to universities, and they're being experimented on. And in the process, they're going through rigorous, subjugation to traumas, and also they are being subjected to new world order technologies. And the younger the generations get, the more technology is actually involved. And we're talking injections, implants, nanotechnology, artificial intelligence. They are hooking these kids up to computers. They are merging the worlds of science and occultism. They are taking these kids to other realms and dimensions through portals and wormholes that some of them are opened up technologically with man-made stargates or technologies that were borrowed from other entity groups. And in the process, a person goes through all this trauma. They're getting shattered. Well, they have different divisions when it comes to the mind control world, and they even have something like the Star Maker program, for instance, where you traumatize, but then you say, all right, these people right over here, this group of kids, they have extraordinary charisma. We're going to go put them in the religious sector of what we're building out, and so those children will actually get specialized training in how to pastor and how to lead people from a pulpit, and that their programming will also, it will be a partnership of actual, training along with demonic empowerment to enhance their natural giftings of charisma and all of that. And underneath their presenting consciousness, they will literally have parts whose job is to advance evil agendas, and they will be set up in churches. And they will be funded and they will have connections. And so you actually have people whose whole ministries is subverted by the programming that they have received. They're actually programmed multiple sitting in the pulpit. They have a Christian presenter that sits at the front of the body. And if you talk to them, they would think, they're just a genuine Christian believer trying to do this. But what's underneath is a very highly advanced state of brokenness that allows for the usurpation and manipulation of that agenda. Like that individual with agenda. Now, this person will be totally incapable of preventing certain individuals from being installed around them. Ushers speaking, they'll just be able to put what they want there. And then this person, they're going to have a religious conviction about whatever the New World Order is pushing as well. So, all right, we want to put all these vaccines in people, right? Or can I say that on your show?
Yeah.
All right, so we want to put all these vaccines in people. I mean, it's going to have luciferase. It's going to have all kinds of graphene oxide and like chemicals. No reason should this ever be in the body, like mercury. But you know what? Yes, we want people to be safe. So suddenly we get a religious conviction about the New World Order agenda, and we preach it from the pulpit, and it seems right. These people are actually, at the surface, they're like, yeah, this must be the right answer. This is the right thing. And I'm not saying every pastor is that back vaccines.
For you, as far as you are concerned, God has given you words. Your words will go out and accomplish what you have told them to do.